Hey guys, welcome back to Bookworm Brie, and today I'm going to be telling you guys how to get out of a reading slump and how to stay out of a reading slump. And this is take two because my phone decided to run out of storage and I didn't feel like using iMovie to connect the videos, so we're just starting all over from scratch. It'll probably be better because I'll be doing some less rambling, but I'm scared I'm going to lose some important key points, so just bear with me. So how to get out of a reading slump. Step 1. Sometimes you just have to embrace the reading slump. Like, sometimes trying to do something for the reading slump is just going to make it worse. So I highly recommend just take a break if you need to. And even if it's just a couple of days, that's better than trying to force yourself to do it if you don't want to. So yeah. And then figure out the source of the reading slump. Like, was it because you simply just haven't read in a while and you're just like, I actually don't want to go back into reading? That's okay. Take a break. If it's a good book, I make a list. Read the next one in the series, if it's a book series, and then reread it if it was a good book and you're like, oh, no book is ever going to be able to compare to the one I just read. Reread it. You will think otherwise. Because, like, I was rereading The School for Good and Evil a while ago, and I was like, this is not as amazing as I remembered. Like, it was actually really stupid, and like if I read it now, I would literally be like, what? Like, it's bad. It was so like put up on a pedestal in my mind. So yeah, reread the book. Not saying like you want to downgrade it, but also like don't have your standards ridiculously high. And then read your favorite book. Yeah, because it just like shows you why you like reading and all that stuff and how books can be similar to that, unless if it's my case. Except for I was reading mine for fun. It wasn't like I was in a reading slump. It was like desperate. It was like I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna go find my favorite scenes, and I was just like, what is this? And then if it's a bad book, still reread your favorite and okay. If you're in a slump because the book was so bad, I recommend making a bunch of key points of why the book was bad, and then find a book that has opposite. So like if it was too intense, not enough romance, find a book that is a fluffy romance. Or like if it's too much romance and no plot, find a high fantasy book with romance as a subplot. Just do opposite of what it is, because then it helps motivate you and be like, oh, there's good stuff. And then, okay, this is something that I actually do on a regular basis, and I'm not saying this to like promote people or anything, but literally search the term book talk compilations on YouTube. It's what's got me out of reading slumps each time, and also inspired me to make Bookworm Brie part 2.0. But yeah, if you look up that, it just like some of it is like memes, and if you have Instagram and Pinterest, the videos on there are way better. But for those of you who only have YouTube, I recommend looking up the book talk compilations. And with shorts being created, that's actually helped a lot, because then you could just like hashtag book talk and then just scroll from there. Or like something that I like to look up, like this is my like main thing that I look up for book videos, is relatable. I love watching relatable stuff. Sometimes I like don't care to like book recommendations or like only specific book recommendations. Like I don't want to watch that right now. I want something that is funny and like relatable, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I do that too. And then you're like, oh, I want to go read my book now. It always works for me. It's like magic. Watch your favorite bookstagrammer. Also not like pinpointing anyone, but there's, I think her name's Steph, and her last name starts with a B, but she was my go-to lady for the longest time. I love her videos. But yeah, just find some bookstagrammers and just watch their videos and like some of their like what I read this month. Well, sometimes it's hard to watch those because then you go comparing yourself, and that's not a good idea. But if you like, if they have reading vlogs, I recommend reading those, or like bookshelf tour kind of thing. Those are just fun. Or like videos of them, like I don't know, just like a video that looks like interesting. Don't force yourself to do anything that you don't want to do. If you're in a reading slump and I'm telling you go read your favorite book and you go, no, I don't want to do that, then stop reading. Don't read for a little bit. That means that you're tired of reading itself. You're not just tired of that book. But if it's like, okay, you read a really awful romance book, like a really trashy romance, here's this really good romance book I found, and you're like, oh, I do want to read that, that sounds good, then you're just in like a reading slump just from the bad book. I hope that makes sense. Goodness, I cannot talk. So yeah, watch your favorite bookstagrammer and just like their videos and all that stuff. It really helps. And I'm not even saying like watch my videos. I actually, yeah, I'm not gonna self-sabotage her. Okay. Go to the bookstore. No, wait, I'm missing one. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Go to the bookstore or go to the library. Literally, that's like the biggest thing. Like, I'm broke though, but the biggest thing that helps me get out of reading slump is buying some new books. Because you're like, gotta read these ones. I don't know, I can't talk right now. Oh my gosh. Gotta read them. And if you go to the library, it's also like, okay, I got a deadline. But also don't do that if you don't really want to. Moral of the story, just don't do anything you don't want to do. Yeah. Okay, look at aesthetic pictures on Pinterest. Or like look at my goodness. Look at aesthetic videos or book pictures. Like literally just like bookworm aesthetic. And then you just like go through that and yeah, it's fun. Even recreate the videos if you want. It's recreate the photos and do your own like book photo shoot. It's so fun. I highly recommend. And then reread your favorite book. I've said that like 3 times already, but if just rereading your favorite book helps you like, oh, I do enjoy reading and like I want to find a book similar to this, or even if you like look up terms like book similar to and then you search it. Like for example, I was in the massive reading slump because of The Hunger Games when I read that in 2021. I'm at 2020. And I literally Googled books similar to The Hunger Games and The Maze Runner came up. And I was literally like, oh, this sounds great. And now, like, I actually think I like The Maze Runner more than The Hunger Games. And I feel like there's 2 kinds of people in the world. The girls who like The Hunger Games more than The Maze Runner, or the girls that like The Maze Runner more than The Hunger Games. And I'm a girl that likes The Maze Runner more than The Hunger Games, but at the time, I loved The Hunger Games more. Anyway, so, like, do stuff like that. And that helped me get out of my reading slump, and it was so good. If anything, it put me into a deeper one, though. Because now I was like, I really want more dystopian books. But I couldn't find any ones that were good. Anyway. Take a break. I'm trying not to sing the lyrics from Hamilton, but literally just take a break. If I tell you to do any of these things, I'm not telling you to do it, but if I recommend doing any of these things and you're like, no, that means you're just tired of reading and you should just stop. Just for the moment until you want to start doing those things again. Because most people are reading for fun, and when you force yourself to do it, it no longer becomes a hobby, it becomes a chore. And like, if you enjoy reading, you want to stay enjoyed by it. No, at no point you should be like, oh, well, here I go again, and like pick up the book. Like that ruins the fun of it, and you're actually kind of like spoiling your like hobby. So take a break. Now anyway, we're gonna move into how to stay out of a slump, which can be kind of difficult. And I figured out ways that help me. I like just got out of a slump because I used this technique and all that stuff. So yeah. Also, one last thing to add to get out of a reading slump is also like buy book related stuff. So if you enjoy annotating, or even if you don't, starting annotating is so much fun. That definitely pulled me out. But if you just like go on Amazon, buy some tabs, buy some highlighters, get some bougie pens, and then annotate, oh, it's so much fun. Or like if you buy some like cute book like t-shirts or book reading stuff, I don't know, just like get yourself something, even if it's like romanticizing it. Like go somewhere special to read the book and get coffee and stuff. Anyway, so how to stay out of the slump. And I'm not saying this to like promote me or anything like this, but start a booktube, please. It would be so much fun if y'all started creating booktube accounts. And you guys would already have a book friend, and I would follow you guys. If you comment, I'm starting a booktube because of you, I will like full send support you the whole entire time. And it would be so much fun. Anyway, so yeah, start a booktube. Because it's fun because then you get to, oh, I got to make this video for this book, but I first got to finish reading the book, so I got to read the book, and then it motivates you. Although I do feel like a sort of burnout from it, but that's just because I was obsessively doing it for a little bit because of that one video on Instagram, and just like answering to people, and like the high of it was like so fun. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And now it's like, I got 16,000 people to entertain. And it's like, okay, I'm tired. And also like, okay, I explained this on my Instagram story, but I am actually not that big of a bookworm. Like I love like the book aesthetic. Like I love reading books and all that stuff, but I am not a hardcore bookworm. It is probably 15% of my personality. And it's funny because I have so many people from like all different sources of like things that I do, like church and theater, and they all like follow my bookworm Brie, and so many people have been, I didn't even know you read books. And yeah, it's because I'm actually not that big of a bookworm. I probably most of the time I don't even read like anything a day. I'm like an all or nothing person, so it's like when I read a book I'll probably read it in one sitting. But yeah, fun little fact about me. 10 minutes into the video, just so the true people can see what I mean. Anyway, so yeah, start a booktube. It helps motivate you, it helps romanticize it, and you get to make fun videos, and it's so much fun, and there's so many book people that you meet online, and it's just fun. Set an easy reading goal. People get burned out because they're reading excessively, because they're stressed out about their reading goal, especially when they put it like at 200 books and they're only at like 36. And I'm extremely competitive, so there's no way I gotta complete it, but I'm also busy. So set an easy reading goal and just like get something that's like achievable, so then you feel proud when you do it. Even if it's like, okay, I'm just gonna read for 10 minutes, and you do it and you're like, oh, I did it. Then you're not burned out. Instead of being like, okay, I have to read like all those book influencers that don't have a life and get paid because they're reading the books. They read 2 books a day. I gotta be reading 3. Don't do that, please. Anyway, try different genres. That's so much fun. Because then you get to discover, okay, DNFing a book is like a new superpower that you have to learn. It's a skill. It's extremely difficult to do. But ever since I've started reading my school books excessively. So I'm homeschooled, for those of you who don't know. And my mom started this new curriculum where it's, part of it is just like a set of books. And like you just read a bunch of like history books and some like classic literature. Like I've read Peter Pan. I've read, for English, Peter Pan and Lord of the Flies. To Kill a Mockingbird. Just a bunch of random stuff. And, yeah. And with those, it's like, I know I'm having to read this, but what I would do to stop it. And like with that level, I've learned that it's not hard to DNF a book. It doesn't hurt the book's feelings. They're not even alive. It doesn't hurt the author's feelings. They're most likely dead because it's a bad book. I'm joking. But just DNF the book. Even if it's popular. May or may not be done with the ACOTAR series, y'all. That one is like putting me in the biggest reading slump. Even thinking about it is putting me in a reading slump. Anyway, so try different genres. And don't do something that you're like, if you're a romance girl and you hate anything creepy and you go to like thriller, don't do that. But if it's something as simple as going to fantasy with a romance subplot, that's a good idea. Just like have something that you already enjoy, but like take a different branch of it. Like, for example, I should probably be reading more historical fiction than I do now because I do actually really like it, but I don't. And then I'm not the biggest fan of dystopian anymore. Fun fact. It used to be my thing, but now it's just like, I wouldn't say it stresses me out, but like, I don't know, it's just a bunch of repeating patterns, like in real life. And then I started creating conspiracies. Anyway, so just don't read a book genre that you're actually not comfortable reading. And then make reading aesthetic. Romanticize reading. Like, for example, like I've been reading, and I've been enjoying, of course, but like I'm reading for the purpose of other people's entertainment. And that's romanticizing it for me. And like creating my YouTube channel is romanticizing. And all the book videos is fun. And annotating is so much fun. And how you can also romanticize it is like set up a picnic for yourself, go to your backyard, get a picnic blanket, make some like iced coffee, and then pull out your book while listening to Pride and Prejudice soundtrack on Spotify. Literally, that sounds like so much fun right now, but I got stuff to do. But like, you just romanticize it, and then it makes it more fun, and take some aesthetic photos while you're doing it, and it's just, I love it. So yeah, one last thing, I literally wrote this down. I didn't underline it, but I wrote it down all in words. All this stuff is just like phrases, so I can remember what I'm gonna say. But if you are doing this as a hobby, never force yourself to do it if you aren't wanting to, because that causes burnout. Like, literally, you're doing this for fun, but when it no longer has an objective to, I don't know why I said it that way, the objective to be fun, then it turns into a chore, and then you start to hate it. For example, bookworm, it began as a hobby, but now it's like, and everybody's like, oh, it's fine, just like take a break. I can't take a break. And like, yeah, it just causes burnout if you start doing it when it's no longer fun and then you take it more seriously. So once again, if it's a hobby, nobody is going to be mad if you didn't read 4 hours today. just enjoy it, read the book. Unless if it's for school, then you gotta read it in the deadline. But yeah, there's a video for today. This one actually has been requested a couple of times, and I'm finally making it. I haven't made it sooner because I just got out of reading slump, like literally like 2 weeks ago. No, it was like a week and a half ago. It was not that long ago. And I'm already feeling a new one coming up. I'm joking. I'm just really busy with work and school and life. And I really don't want to spend my whole summer locked up in my room reading, because that has caused madness. To my friends who know, you know. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today while I made this video. I hope this helped on some level. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. If you want to follow my Instagram, definitely do so. My Pinterest. My dad is trying to convince me to start a Facebook, because that's another way to start getting more promotions and all that stuff. And I'm like, no. And also, like, who uses Facebook for Bookstagram? Or, like, book-related stuff? I feel like it's just the old people's way to show off their grandchildren. Anyway, so yeah. And I am starting a new merch line. Not, like, starting a new merch line. I am being promoted by, so far, officially 2 companies. There's just one company that, like, I have no clue what they're doing. But anyway, one of them consists of jewelry, which is really pretty, and they do have a clothing line. And that one, when you use my code, you will get 40% off. And then I got accepted for a fandom subscription box line, which I'm not sure the coupon that you guys are getting, but I know it's gonna be dope, because they're a really cool company, and I'm so excited to share with you guys what I got. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm just like waiting for it, and I'm so excited. So yeah, and then I'm gonna do a book haul soon. As in, I haven't bought any books, but I'm going to make myself buy a lot of books, because I haven't bought books in like ages, except for the one secondhand. But yeah, and I'm gonna get more secondhand, like online and all that stuff, like eBay. I'm gonna see like the cheapest books I can find in the best quality, and then we can see how many books I'm writing this down so I don't forget how many books I can buy for the cheapest. So yeah, this is literally how bookworm Brie goes though, guys. Because I literally, like, I was at the pool with my sister, and I'm like, remember reading Slump? She's like, why? I'm like, so I don't forget it. And we, like, continued, and I was like, what was the thing I told you to remember? She's like, reading Slump. Thank you. Write it down. And this is my bookworm Brie notebook. Just covered in junk of random stuff. Oh, spoilers. I'm joking. But just random ideas. If you slow that down and read that, I'm gonna murder. I'm joking. Okay, thank you for joining me. So sorry I always just like trail off, but subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to my friend Mia. Love her so much. Bestie. And she makes cool videos too, and she's also pretty close to 200 subscribers, and then she's almost to 500 followers on Instagram. So yeah, definitely check that out if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.